This is David Dingender here at London Bridge just after the Derek Chisora Deontay Wilder press conference ahead of the big fight on April 4th between these two heavyweights. The first time that MF Pro are going to be hosting an event in association with Queensberry. First of all, Amer, how are you doing, my friends?
I'm great, David. Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's brilliant to hear. So just get straight into it, Obviously this event happening on the 4th, two heavyweights, both coming in with their 50th fights as well. How special is it to get two fighters fighting each other, both on their 50th fights?
Well, first of all, thank you for acknowledging that and recognizing that. But look, this is MF Pro's inception event. This is our first time out the gates as an entity, as a promotion company, and we're doing it with two living icons in the heavyweight division. The relentless Derek Chisora, heart, of a warrior, and you've got the knockout king, the master of knockouts, Deontay Wilder, who's knocked out with 43 out of his 44 opponents. This is a fight for the ages. This is a fight that the world's going to be tuning into, the boxing world will be tuning into because of how fun of a fight it is. Very rarely do you see a fight that's not a world title fight that's something that people want to see. Like typically the prize is, they're fighting for this title or they're fighting for this spot. This is not. These are guys, Derek's last hurrah. He's looking to retire after this. He claims he's going to retire Deontay. Deontay's obviously looking for a bigger fish and moving up to Usyk after this, but he's got to get through Derek. So that's the gatekeeper. 50th fight for both guys, 100-02, April 4th. Here we go.
Absolutely. And speaking of, Deontay Wilder, the bronze bummer, this is his second time fighting in the UK, and for the first time in a long time, what was it about Deontay Wilder that makes him special, and why was it your incentive to bring Deontay Wilder back to the UK?
Look, Derek could have gotten a soft touch for his 50th fight, and he deserves a soft touch for his 50th fight. Give him a nice goodbye, give him a nice, send-off. But Derek wanted Deontay. He wanted to be pushed for his 50th fight, because Derek's a nutcase like that. He's just crazy. And Deontay loved the fight, and Deontay said it. He goes, I need this fight more than Derek needs me. And Deontay agreed to come to hostile territory. Even though Deontay's people, I was with them yesterday, and they said, listen, we're going to pack that O2 arena. Derek's going to be the outsider. I said, well, that's a big task to take, to undertake. But Deontay's coming into hostile territory. He is going to absolutely, in the UK, be the B-side. This is Chisora territory. The fans are going to be screaming for Derek's name. He's a hometown hero. He's a hometown legend. And hats off to Deontay Wilder for doing that at this stage of his career. That's stuff that warriors do. So that lets you know who Deontay Wilder is. And he's coming here to beat Derek in front of his hometown on hostile territory and go back with the W and then move on to the next fight.
And obviously Deontay, it's a big fight for both of these people because obviously Derek Chisora is looking to close out his career on a high. For Deontay Wilder, it's a fight where it's important for him because it has to show obviously where he's at in his career and what's his next options for him. Should everything go according to plan, do you think he has what it takes to obviously get the win, but obviously push on and fight the elite heavyweights?
Deontay?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Deontay has been reborn. Mentally, he's in a totally different place than he was, a few months ago. He went to a dark place, and he, admittedly so. And I stayed in contact with Deontay during that, and you could tell that, he went through a lot of personal issues, and that turmoil, your heart's a very, very powerful thing that, controls your whole being. And, like the Prophet Muhammad said, when the heart is sound, the rest of the body is sound. So that is the controlling factor of it. Deontay is at a place in his life where he's back. He does not look at this as a retirement fight. He does not look at this as the end of the road. If anything, this is a new run at a title contention. So, Deontay's in a great place mentally.
And the UK people, they absolutely love Deontay Wilder here, and they love, and you're just seeing in the press room how appreciated he is, though, to be fair. Do you think a happy Deontay is a dangerous Deontay? And how are you able to sort of make him reborn, if that makes sense?
Deontay will punch until his dying breath. Deontay's power isn't going anywhere. He's always going to be that guy. Tyson Fury admitted that was the hardest he's ever been hit. Every single heavyweight that's been in there with Deontay has admitted this is the hardest we've ever been hit. Luis Ortiz, never been hit like that before. All of these guys have never been hit the way Deontay hits. That's what makes him exciting. The great Emmanuel Stewart from Kronk Gym said it. The knockouts are what fans want to see. That's all that matters.
And with that, we can't really wait what's going to happen there. In terms of MF Pro, this is the first time that MF Pro are going to be hosting their first ever professional event. How pleased are you to be entering in this new era for Misfits and for MF Pro in particular? And what can, how did this come to be, being on the zone?
Well, I have great partners in Kelly Sauerland, Mrs. Sauerland, Mams Taylor, KSI, and they've done a phenomenal job with the Misfits brand. MF Pro is a brand new entity. So what that means for us is, this is the inception event. Like, this is our coming out fight. And typically, and I can't speak for other promoters, but for us, we wanted to start strong and stay strong. So will we have smaller cards? Of course we will. But when you talk about blockbuster cards, and this is your first one that you open with, I think that speaks a lot. And the fact that DAZN is backing us and giving us these dates and enabling us to grow our roster and grow the talent that we have, I think speaks leagues about what the future of MF Pro is and what the future of our fighters are.
And I heard there was a lot of broadcasters looking to contend this fight. Apparently Sky were in the running for this one. But what was it about DAZN that made it like a match for this fight specifically?
I loved that they saw past this fight. I love that they believed in the brand, they believed in the partners, they believed in what we have to do, and coming out with Chisora Wilder, I think that also for us, not to pound our chest, but that we proved that we can deliver big fights. We're not just going to start on these rinky-dink cards and try these hopefuls. We're putting on big fights with big guys. So the fact that they were able to give us the opportunity and a runway to build, that I think that was a clear choice.
Absolutely, and obviously. They've signed, obviously, Vidal Riley as well. What's the situation with Vidal Riley? Is he most likely going to be fighting on this card? Where are you looking to...
Yeah, our plan is to put Vidal as the co-main event on this card. He's got a big fight coming up. Of course, we would have loved to have him defend his British title, but that fight didn't work out. They withdrew from the purse bid, which is fine, because the next fight's even bigger. Absolutely.
And obviously, just a last question from me, really. And for me, really, because we see so many boxing promotions sort of coming up and rebranding themselves. What is it about MF Pro that's gonna make everybody take notice? And what is it that you guys are gonna do to make yourself stand out?
What bigger of a fight do you want us coming out the gate with than Chisora Wilder, or in the U.S. Wilder Chisora? I don't like to beat my chest. I don't like to be pompous about anything and say what we're going to do. I'll tell you what we are doing, and what we are doing is the biggest fight in the UK outside of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. In that, it's Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder. So we'll let our actions speak.
Absolutely. And on that note, a pleasure speaking to you. Looking dapper as always, and can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Thank you, David.